I don't feel sorry for Dillian White. He's played himself, and this is the reason. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Brent Star Says So. Let's get into this one, guys. It's been a while. It's been nearly 4 months. I'm sorry, I had a lot of stuff on outside of recording YouTube videos and sticking them on the internet. But yeah, I'm back. Sorry about this, guys. It's been nearly 4 months. I don't know if anybody still listens to this channel, if anybody's still subscribed or anything, but I'm back with a vengeance. Before we start things off, I'm going to need you all to do me a massive favor. Go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. That is going to help this channel immensely. So go and press the smash button, smash that like button. And also, if you're going to do it multiple times, do it in odd numbers, ones, threes, fives, sevens, and nines. We don't really like even like button smashes because you're taking away the likes from this channel. Anyway, this was sort of asked of me from a subscriber a very long time ago. Shouts out to Flash DNA on this one, actually. He asked me to sort of put this one together. What my thoughts are on the whole Dillian White situation, the saga. Do I feel sorry for him? Do I think that he played himself? Do I think he's a waste man? Okay, I'm going to get straight to the point. Dillian White is moist. He played himself, and all he's doing is throwing his toys out the pram. Dillian White allowed Eddie Hearn to manipulate and use him. Dillian White was nothing more than a pawn in Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua's master plan to help Anthony Joshua from not fighting Deontay Wilder. Dillian White was basically there to get himself into a mandatory position to put as many blocks forward to stop Deontay Wilder from ever being able to get to Joshua. And once Deontay Wilder got beaten by Tyson Fury, Eddie Hearn forgot about Dillian White, and he's just been like a forgotten man. Let's not forget, Dillian White was offered the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua on April 13th of 2019, and he turned that down. This is one of the main reasons why I don't feel sorry for the man. He's been running after Deontay Wilder because he didn't want the AJ rematch for one reason or the other. And it made no sense because had he had fought Deontay Wilder, he would have been fighting as a mandatory fighter, which means that he would have got 25 or 30% of the purse. Fair enough, had he had won, there wouldn't have been any need for a rematch, but the likelihood is whatever money that he was getting offered for the Anthony Joshua fight would have been more than what he would have got for the Deontay Wilder fight. Dillian White's reasoning for turning down April 13th at Wembley was that he was getting shortchanged on the money and he was getting shortchanged on the rematch. Dillian White supposedly wholeheartedly believed that he could beat Joshua, but turned down the fight because he said that the money wasn't good up front and the money wasn't good on the rematch, and neither was the pay-per-view percentage splits. Now, for me, he's played himself because maybe Dillian White saw something that nobody else saw. Well, I did, and a couple other people on the internet, but there's a lot of AJ fanboys that literally thought AJ was unstoppable, and Dillian White turned that opportunity down. And what happened is 2 months later, the Hamburger man put down his pizzas and kebabs, stepped into the ring in New York City, knocks down AJ 4 times, made him spit out his gum shield, and he quit. 2 months later, 2 months after when Dillian White should have been fighting AJ, Andy Ruiz stepped up to the plate with the same sort of deal, the same sort of split, and he became the first ever Mexican world heavyweight champion. Dillian White played himself. If Dillian White saw the kink in AJ's armor and didn't exploit it, he is a fool. What he should have done is beaten AJ once, beaten him again, and then he would have become the main guy. He would have become the money man. He would have become the draw. Instead of that, what did he do? He went and fought Oscar Rivas. He fought him with dodgy gloves. He fought him with steroids in his system. We've still not seen the B sample. And if one more person tells me that he was cleared to fight, I'm going to go off my fucking trolley, man. Because Dillian White is a fraud. He's a cheat. He's a fake. I don't feel sorry for him. Let's not forget the numerous amount of opportunities he's had to fight Deontay Wilder for the WBC title. When the WBC said to Dillian White, when the WBC mentioned that Dominic Brazil was going to become the mandatory, Dillian White decided to make merry hell. Dominic Brazil, out of the kindness of his heart, said to Dillian White, look, if you think that you should be the mandatory, come and fight me for the mandatory position. Dillian White refused. He went on to fight Oscar Rivas. Deontay Wilder also said to Dillian White, look, if you can beat Luis Ortiz, I will fight you next. Dillian White didn't want that. The WBC also said to Dillian White, look, I will mandate you if you beat Luis Ortiz in a final eliminator. Dillian White refused that. So what did Deontay Wilder do? He fought his mandatory in Brazil, then he fought Luis Ortiz, and then he fought Tyson Fury. Dillian White could have had a WBC title shot. He's chosen not to. I don't understand why Dillian White feels so entitled, fighting bum after bum. Like, let's be honest, what exactly has he done to warrant this title shot? He had a slugfest, a dead 10-rounder with Marius back. He blatantly cheated against Oscar Rivas with how many different steroids in his system, as well as dodgy gloves that hadn't been agreed. He's knocked out Lucas Brown. I was at the O2 for that. The Chisora rematch, that was a very controversial fight. Chisora was so far up but had 2 points controversially taken off, threw the candle to the wind and got sparked. What exactly has he done that makes him think that he should be the mandatory? Also, if you read the WBC's rules, it clearly states that the number one ranked fighter is not the mandatory, and they can call a mandatory from anybody from 1 to 3. He's been talking about being the mandatory for 2 or 3 years. He only became the mandatory fighter when he beat Oscar Rivas. So I'm not really too sure what Dillian White is getting at. I mean, what has he really done? Okay, he beat Joseph Parker. That was a good fight. Apart from the Parker fight, what has he actually done that makes me think he should be the mandatory fighter for the WBC Heavyweight Championship? White has played himself. Frank Warren has come out and said something along the same lines. Frank Warren has said that he's been mismanaged and mispromoted. In the words of Frank Warren, he signed Tyson Fury, he had 2 warm-up fights, and within 6 months, he was challenging for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. The problem that Eddie Hearn has is that he's got too big for his boots, and when he first launched the Zone, he told all the other promoters and networks that he was going to put them out of business and bankrupt them. Why would anybody want to work with Eddie Hearn? De La Hoya doesn't like him, but they're both signed to the Zone, so they might do a bit of work. Bob Arum can't stand him. Al Heyman can't stand him. Shelley Finkel can't stand him. Stephen Espinosa. Nobody who has any sort of say in American boxing can stand Hearn. And Eddie Hearn just can't deliver. If you cannot deliver a World Heavyweight Championship in-house fight for your own fighter, then what the hell are you doing? That should have been the easiest fight. White versus AJ or AJ versus White. Wembley Stadium, April 13th. Why did that fight not happen? It should have been made within 10 minutes. Both of them fight for Matchroom. They should have both got a fair split of the money. They should have both got a fair split of the pay-per-view. The rematch clause should have been fair. Why? Because none of them can run off with the belts because they're both Matchroom fighters. And Eddie Hearn couldn't deliver that. Dillian White's played himself. When Dillian White's contract was up with Matchroom and he was shopping around, I know he met with Al Heyman, he probably met with Bob Arum, but he decided to stay put to Eddie Hearn, the same Eddie Hearn who doesn't deliver for Dillian White in a professional manner. Eddie Hearn has delivered for Dillian White in a financial matter, as in he's put him on pay-per-view and made him fairly decent wages. By the end of the day, does Dillian White care more about the wages or does he want the opportunity to become a world champion? Listening to what he says, he's desperate for that title shot. Do I think he should have taken the April 13th title shot? Without a shadow of a doubt. Because maybe he would have beaten him. Maybe he would have shocked the world just like Andy Ruiz did. Do I think that he should have fought Luis Ortiz for a mandatory position? Yes. Do I think that he should have fought Dominic Brazil for the mandatory position? Yes. Do I think he's getting a title shot in the next 12 months? No. The only way Dillian White gets a title shot is if Tyson Fury gets upgraded to the franchise championship or if AJ drops a belt. Tyson Fury has to defend his belt against Deontay Wilder, who has a contract clause rematch, and then Tyson Fury's going into the AJ fight. Dillian White is nothing more than a distant memory in boxing. All Dillian White can do, hope and pray, is that Tyson Fury gets upgraded to some sort of franchise champion, or Anthony Joshua drops the belt and Dillian White can get a title shot somewhere else. Because if Tyson Fury gets upgraded, it will be Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder for the WBC championship, and he's going to get knocked out anyway. The problem with Dillian Whyte that I don't really care about is that I don't think that he can beat Wilder. I don't think he can beat Fury. And I don't think he can beat AJ either. So it's like, we're just wasting time. At this level, most of these boxers only fight 2 times a year, 3 at a maximum. Tyson Fury's next 3 fights are signed up. If he beats Deontay Wilder, he's going into a 2-fight header with Anthony Joshua. So he's not going to fight Tyson Fury. If Deontay Wilder finds a way to beat Tyson Fury, he's probably going to have 2 or 3 in-house fights with Al Heyman fighters. So, Dillian White has played himself. Anyway, guys, this is for my subscriber Flash. Here's your video, mate. I am so sorry, but as you guys know, I haven't made a video in nearly 4 months. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that White has played himself as well? Remember to hit like, please subscribe, share the video, and I'm going to keep releasing videos, guys, because during this pandemic, I haven't really got anything else to do. I was sort of banished for a while and haven't been anywhere near to a microphone, but I'm back. So that's the end of the show because Ramstar says so.